All right. Today we're going to tackle a problem that, let's be honest, affects just about everyone in the modern workplace: digital chaos. This explainer is all about how you can finally cut through that noise and get your focus back, not by downloading some fancy new app, but by using the tools you already have in a completely different way.
So, does this sound familiar? Your workday just feels chaotic. You've got, what, a dozen tabs open? Files are scattered everywhere, and you have that nagging feeling in the back of your mind that you're forgetting something really important. If you feel like you spend more time hunting for information than actually using it, you're not alone. You're drowning in what I call digital static.
You know, there's actually a name for the productivity killer behind all this chaos: context switching. Every single time you jump from your document to your email to check your calendar and then back again, you're burning through a little bit of mental energy. It completely fragments your attention, and it's one of the biggest roadblocks to getting any kind of deep, focused work done. So what's the fix? Well, it's something called the connectivity protocol. And look, this isn't just a list of features to learn, it's a whole new philosophy. It's a new way of thinking about how your digital tools should work together, not as a bunch of separate islands, but as one single unified system. So, to be really clear, the connectivity protocol is basically a set of 4 integrated workflows. They're designed to get rid of all that digital friction we were just talking about. The whole goal is to transform your separate apps, your docs, your calendar, your notes, into one intelligent, interconnected workspace. Okay, so this whole protocol thing, it stands on 4 really powerful pillars. First, we're going to build a single pane of glass so you can see everything at once. Second, we're going to practice something called time shielding. Third, we'll enable frictionless capture for your ideas. And fourth, we're going to learn to embrace a search over sort mentality. Let's break down exactly what each of those means. All right, let's dive right into part 1 and see how we can build this new control center for your work. This is all about pulling your information together and, more importantly, actually committing to your work in a real, tangible way.
You know the old way, right? It's that endless tab switching game, always hunting for that one specific spreadsheet or that email from last week. The new way, it's all about creating what we call a living document, a single dynamic hub for an entire project. And the crazy part is, putting this into practice is so simple. Inside any Google Doc, you just type the @ symbol. That's it. This one little keystroke lets you instantly embed live interactive things. A Google Sheet with all your project data, a calendar event with a deadline, you can even tag a teammate to assign a task, all right there inside the document. No more switching tabs, it becomes your command center. Now, the second piece of building this control center is a huge mindset shift, and it's summed up perfectly by this quote. This is the core idea behind that time shielding technique. It's about moving away from wishful to-do lists and starting to make concrete commitments. And how do you actually do it? It's ridiculously easy. In your Google Calendar, you just open up the side panel, find your task list, and then you physically drag and drop a task right onto an empty time slot on your calendar. See, the second you do that, you've changed everything. That task is no longer some vague aspiration, something you hope you get to. Now it's a firm commitment. You're forced to look at the real, actual time it's going to take to do that work, which makes you way more likely to get it done. Okay, so you've got your control center. Let's move on to part 2, mastering your workflow. Now that you have a central hub, we need to make sure information can flow into it effortlessly. First up is the frictionless capture loop. I mean, think about it. How many brilliant ideas have you had in the car or out on a walk that just vanished by the time you got back to your desk? This loop is designed to solve that exact problem. So here's how the loop works. It's brilliant. An idea strikes you. You grab your phone, open Google Keep, and use the voice to text to capture it. Then later, when you're back in your living document, you just open the Keep side panel, and boom, all your notes are sitting right there, ready for you to just drag and drop them straight into your draft. And the biggest win here? You know that terrifying blinking cursor on a blank page? This completely eliminates blank page syndrome. You never have to start from scratch again. Instead, you're just assembling your first draft from these little bits and pieces of thought you captured all day long. All right, the final piece of mastering your workflow is a big one. It's a fundamental shift in how you find files. The old way, sorting everything into this complex web of digital folders, man, that's a bottleneck straight out of the 20th century. The new way is to just rely on search, powered by metadata. So instead of clicking through folder after folder, you start using Google Drive's search chips to instantly filter your entire drive. You can find any file just by who owns it, what type of file it is, like show me only spreadsheets, or even by when it was last modified. You're using data about your files to find the files themselves, instantly.
And the impact of this one shift? It's staggering. Moving from a sorting to a searching mindset can slash the time it takes you to find a piece of information by around 80%. Just think about that. All that time you spend clicking through folders, poof, it's just gone.
So, when you put all these different techniques together, what do you actually get? Well, you stop fighting with your tools and you start building a single unified system. It's like creating a unified brain for all your work.
And really, the ultimate goal of this entire connectivity protocol is simple. It's about locking in the signal. It's about finally cutting through all that digital static and noise to amplify what actually matters, the work itself.
So let's recap how this unified brain comes together. The smart chips in your living document, that's your control center. Time shielding, that's what turns your plans into real commitments. Frictionless capture gives you momentum to start. And Drive Search gives you instant access to any piece of information right when you need it. Look, when you integrate these workflows, you're not just getting a little more organized. You're fundamentally changing your relationship with your work. You are literally reclaiming huge chunks of your day. So the real question isn't about the tools anymore. It's about you. When you cut through all that chaos and get all that time back, what are you going to do with it?